What if you could run those incredibly powerful AI models you see online, but right on your own computer? I mean, completely private, totally free, and 100% under your control. Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to walk through how to install and run your own private AI using a fantastic tool called Ollama. So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why running AI locally is such a game changer. Then, I'll introduce you to our tool for the job, Ollama. After that, we'll dive right into the hands-on installation guide for Windows. We'll get you running your very first model, explain why size is so important when you're choosing one, and wrap up by looking at the incredible power you now have at your fingertips. You might be thinking, why bother with all this when I can just use those big, popular AI tools online? Well, they're definitely convenient, but they come with some serious strings attached, and they're not always obvious at first. When you put them side by side, the difference is, well, it's huge. With cloud AI, you're usually paying for it somehow, either through subscriptions or API fees. And here's the big one. Every single thing you type, every prompt, gets sent to some company's servers. Plus, if your internet goes out, your AI is gone. Ollama just flips that script completely. It's free, forever. Your prompts and your data never, ever leave your computer, so it's totally private. And once a model is downloaded, it works perfectly offline. And that brings us to the hero of our story, Ollama. It's the simple, powerful solution that puts you right back in the driver's seat. So what is this thing really? Think of Ollama as the magic toolbox that does all the super complicated stuff for you. It takes the incredibly complex process of getting these giant AI models, these LLMs, to work on a normal computer and makes it simple. It handles the downloads, the setup, the management, so you can just focus on actually using the AI. The why here is just crystal clear. It's totally free. No subscriptions, no hidden fees, nothing. Privacy is a huge one. Your conversations are for your eyes only, which is great for sensitive work or just, peace of mind. You can use it anywhere, on a flight, out in the middle of nowhere. As long as you've downloaded your model, you don't need the internet. And you get full control to play around, experiment, and use it however you want. All right, that's enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty and actually install this thing. And trust me, you are going to be shocked at how easy this is. But first, let's just make sure your machine is ready to go. Okay, let's talk hardware. These are pretty much the minimums to get in the game. You'll need a recent version of Windows 10 or 11. Now, 8 gigs of RAM will get you started. And it works just fine for smaller models. But if you have 16 gigs or more, that's where you'll really see a difference with the bigger, more capable models. And make sure you've got a decent chunk of free space on your hard drive, because these things can take up a few gigs. The installation itself is literally just 3 steps. First, you're going to head over to Ollama.com and download the Windows installer. Second, just run that Ollama setup.exe file you downloaded. It's a super standard process. And here's a really cool part. You don't even need admin rights to do this. Once that finishes, we just need to double check that it's working. So go ahead and open up a command prompt or PowerShell window. Okay, in that terminal window, you're going to type this exact command, Ollama space-version, and just hit enter. If you see a version number pop up on the screen, boom, you've done it. Ollama is successfully installed, and it's already running in the background, just waiting for your commands. All right, this is the fun part. This is where the magic happens. We're about to download our very own AI and actually start talking to it. So, in the Ollama world, you'll hear the term pulling a model. Don't let that intimidate you. It's just a fancy word for downloading. We're just telling Ollama to go grab a specific AI model and save it to our computer. Back in that same terminal, type this command, Ollama pull llama 3.2. We're using llama 3.2 because it's a fantastic starter model. It hits that perfect sweet spot of being really powerful, but also light enough to run well on most machines. This will probably take a few minutes, depending on your internet speed, so just let it do its thing. And I cannot stress this enough. Once this download bar hits 100%, that's it. This is the last time you will ever need an internet connection to use this specific model. You now have a completely self-contained AI living right on your hard drive. Okay, the AI is downloaded. It's sitting on your computer. Now, how do we actually talk to it? Well, it's just one more super simple command. Just type Ollama run llama 3.2 and hit enter. The model will load up and a new prompt will appear. And just like that, you're in. You're having a live, direct, private conversation with your own AI. Ask it anything. Ask it to write a poem, explain a complex topic, help you write some code, go wild. So, you're up and running, you're probably hooked. And soon you're going to start exploring and see these other models with names like 7B or 70B. This next part is super important for figuring out which models are right for your machine. You'll see these numbers all over the place, but what on earth do they actually mean? They're not just random version numbers. They represent the actual power and size of the AI itself. The B literally just stands for billion. So a 7B model has 7 billion parameters. You can think of these parameters as the neurons in the AI's brain. The more parameters a model has, like a 70 billion one, the more it's learned, and the more complex its thinking can be. But just like a bigger brain needs more energy, a bigger model needs more powerful hardware. This chart is basically your cheat sheet. If you've got 8 gigs of RAM, awesome. The 7B models are your best friend, and they are incredibly capable. If you're working with 16 gigs, you can step up to the 13B models for even more power. And as you can see, those truly giant 70B models, yeah, those are really for beastly machines with 64 gigs of RAM or more. Okay, now for maybe the most critical piece of advice on performance. Your regular system RAM is what gets the model loaded, right? But it's the VRAM, the memory on your graphics card, your GPU, that makes it fast. If the whole model can fit into your GPU's VRAM, responses will be nearly instant. If it doesn't, Ollama has to use your slower system RAM, and the performance can fall off a cliff. We're talking 5 to 20 times slower. It will still work, but it's going to feel sluggish. So let's just take a second and think about what we just did. This is huge. You've officially cut the cord from cloud-based AI. You are now in control. So what does this all mean for you right now? It means you have a seriously powerful tool that will cost you nothing to run ever. It means your ideas, your drafts, your conversations, they stay yours and only yours. You have a whole universe of different models to explore, each with its own quirks and specialties. And most importantly, you're not dependent on anyone else for access to this technology anymore. Look, this is more than just installing a piece of software. It's about taking ownership of a new kind of intelligence. The power is on your desktop, and it is completely under your command. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?